And in our next round,
You've got to be kidding me!
Transformers Revenge of the Fallen. And Cody. 3, 2, 1.
Here we go!
Go!
Ah! Let's talk about it, shall we? Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is the continuing adventures of Optimus Prime, Bumblebee, and the rest of the Autobots, or complete lack thereof, as they try to defend the Earth from the might of the Decepticons with the help of the military, when they get a message that a mysterious and ultimately useless entity known as the Fallen shall rise again. And Sam Witwicky sprinkled in there also, and we have ourselves a muddy, sloppy, choppy mess of a movie. I certainly have a lot of problems, but the technical aspect of it isn't one of them. As with most of the films within this franchise, the way everything looks, the set pieces that they used, and the music is all really, really great. And every little scene that Sam Witwicky had with Bumblebee I felt was really heartfelt and the most human aspect of this darn thing. The inhumane part of this movie is everything else. First of all, the movie's about an hour too long. It has every stereotype that you can imagine. You have the tough military guys, the sleazy government official who's gonna come in and stop the military from working with the Autobots. You have the annoying parents from the last movie. Oh, and I guess we should talk about the worst college stereotypes I've ever seen in my life. Being someone who is in college, I can tell you right now, not every college guy has a picture of a bunch of naked women on their walls. Not every college guy is going to college with the main purpose of having his sex with as many women as they possibly can. And most of the time, if you are having trouble with your roommates and you want to move to another apartment, the college will accommodate you. But let's be honest, we already knew that the human aspects of these films, like the dialogue and like the film was written, are utterly atrocious. The worst part for me is that this story in particular doesn't make any sense. In the first Transformers movie, we learned that our first contact with any kind of Autobot or Decepticon is when Sam Witwicky's great-great-grandfather found Megatron lodged in the ice when he landed there about 1,000 years ago. But Transformers Revenge of the Fallen decides that we need to know that Decepticons and Autobots have been on Earth for millennia and millennia, and apparently the government has had this information for a pretty substantial amount of time. Here's the thing though, if you're a government official or somebody in power and you have information about an enemy force that could possibly wipe out the entire race, why wouldn't you do anything to try to prevent it? Now let's talk about the title. Instead of doing something sensible, like making Megatron gather up the fallen Decepticons and going up against the Autobots again, they decide to create an entity, and this entity is the master of Megatron. Megatron, the person, the Decepticon, who has no leaders, who follows nobody, and who single-handedly with his army brought down Cybertron. How does that make any kind of sense? I'm done talking about this. Transformers Revenge of the Fallen is atrocious, it's garbage, it's just a bunch of destructive nonsense that makes no sense and destroys any of the hope that we had that this franchise could succeed. And I'm afraid to say, Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, now and forever, stay in your shorts. Alright guys, just remember next week I'll be talking about Transformers Dark of the Moon. Hopefully that'll be better. And thank you so much for coming on this journey with me. While the movies may not be a lot of fun to watch, the reviews are certainly a lot of fun to make, and I love making them for you guys. And as always, it is what you guys say that matters. Don't watch Transformers Revenge of the Fallen, but please let me know, which franchise do you actually think is worse? Pirates of the Caribbean or Transformers? And if you like what you've heard here and you want to see more, click right there and subscribe and become part of the fray of nerds who love cinema. You all have a fantastic day.